Triumph Vapor Pi, Sovereign Flower of Intercession, Art Pious. Did you know that this Muslim ban that includes 7 countries, do we understand that every single one of those countries there is no separation of church and state? So could you imagine having that life in America? Just think about it. You wake up, you're a Christian, no matter your belief system. You might want to be sovereign, you might want to be independent, you might not want to do religion at all. You are Christian. So this is the recipe for radical Islam, if there is any that exists, because most of the radicalness and oppressiveness is coming from the governments, are they not? Second point, there are so many Christian sects that we had a conversation this morning and we said, how many Jesuses are there? No, let's think about this, because there's a deity Jesus, God Jesus. There's Jesus that is both divine and of flesh. There's the risen Jesus who rose physically. There's the risen Jesus who rose quasi-physically in a vapor environment. And there is a resurrection that was spiritual. There is conception that is physical versus spiritual. And because of all this, there are several Jesuses in the United States. And is Jesus not part of the Muslim religion as well? For my experiences and the basic philosophy is that Jesus is the Word of God in flesh, mediator to all, and a very holy, holy, holy teacher. Which, being a father, that would be the Jesus that I would want my children to know and love and spend time with. Why? When a child looks at Jesus as a deity, can Jesus really be a role model? He's God. How do I live up to God? But when we describe Jesus as both divine and of flesh, someone who is walking around as a real man, just like you and I, perhaps the child could strive for that goodness. And you say, oh my gosh, no one can be perfect like Jesus. Well, within our studies and evolution in life, Socrates talks about becoming perfect. And how do we do that? There are precursors to bad decisions, are there not? So before we make a bad decision, we have to think about whether we want to do that or not. Is this not leading us into temptation, the temptation of itself? What if we eliminated all behavior that led up to that decision-making process? We'd be living a life of virtue, and we wouldn't have temptation. So it is not an unrealistic thing to strive for, is total and complete virtue as Jesus and Socrates have demonstrated. In the name of our Sovereign Father, Gomandori, Dominator Flow, Messenger of Sovereign Precepts, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, the angels and saints of intercession and holiness, the Holy Spirit, and Paracletius. Amen. Our pious says to you. P.S. Just a footnote. The world needs a renewal and reformation spiritually, whether it's Christian or Muslim. That's not to say that these aren't religion of peace and that's what people are striving for. But in a renewal, people come together and share ideas and philosophies. And that really needs to be led by America, because we have separation of church and state. And it appears like there's a significant spiritual evolution evolving right now in the United States, which can be shared with the world. So everything is local. Perhaps I would encourage you all to connect. Try making friends with one, two, three people in every single country on earth. God be with.